Good afternoon, everybody. James Knull here, Mogul Realty, and I have the distinct pleasure of chatting with Liza Rogers, the founder of WREN, which is Women in Real Estate Network. And, we're just chatting off the tail end of a super, super successful event they hosted a few weeks ago in Victoria. First live event after COVID, and I heard it was just the best time and a smashing success. Everybody I chatted with who attended said they had a terrific time, did some great networking, learned a lot. And so, hot on the heels of that massive success, I thought, you know what, let's just shoot the breeze a little bit about what we're seeing going on in the market today and share some thoughts for everybody who's tuning in. So, Liza, welcome to a Monday afternoon on Facebook Live.
Awesome. Thanks, James. It's great to see you. And thank you for sponsoring the event that we did a few weeks ago. Alexis came out, and yeah, we did. It was really nice to see people in person. I mean, we're all getting used to this virtual world, but there is nothing like being in the room with the energy, talking back and forth. One of the things you can't do when you have group meetings online is you can't talk over each other.
It's
And we
true.
all love to do that. And so, yeah, hearing lots of voices having deep conversations was just amazing. So, yeah, great to be here today and great to see you.
Well, let's talk about what those conversations kind of produced as a temperature of the room. Where are people at? What are they thinking? How are they feeling? What from the perspective of real live investors who got together to talk about what to do in this market, what are people saying and thinking? What are you observing?
Yeah, so lots of good observations and a lot of confusion in the market right now, right? I mean, people are generally like, what do we do? Is the opportunity coming now? People are getting the maybe the misunderstanding that we're already in a buyer's market. We're not quite there yet, according to a lot of the economists and the realtors. So I think it all depends again on where you are in Canada or beyond, and what your market is,
Yeah.
um, and really understanding that market and what's happening in that market. We've also just gone through a weekend of municipal elections, so that's probably going to bring some change. We've had some massive shakeups here on Vancouver Island. So the temperature was, a little bit of confusion. And the message that came out of the day, I'd say the key message is get your ducks in a row. In fact, I think we probably had that message on almost every slide and talked about that in almost every presentation. So it was like, now is a really good time to make sure you've got your credit rating sorted out, make sure you've got your mortgage applications, at a point where you know what you're going to qualify for. Make sure you've got your team in place so that when you're ready to, jump onto something that looks like it's not something you want to lose, that you're ready to go. So there was a lot of like, take a breath, get yourselves ready, be ready because the opportunities are coming, and maybe look at some opportunities that you wouldn't have necessarily considered before. So with the Women's Real Estate Network, of course, we're all about collaboration. So a lot of the ladies are looking at, rather than buying a single condo or single family home as an investment, we're looking at now maybe a really good opportunity to get into some multifamily. So we started looking at mobile home parks again. We started looking at some small hotels and resorts that the government might want to lease out because of the housing shortage. We're looking at small apartment buildings. So co-housing is also a really big trend. So co-housing and multifamily are things that we're really interested in right now.
Got it. Got it. That makes a lot of sense. I think, my observations are similar, is that we're just at the start of when these deals are going to start to pop up. But you made a really good point, which is getting ready to transact. I think one thing that we're hearing a lot of is the deals are coming, the deals are coming. There's already some deals here. I'm actually personally shopping for an Airbnb style property in downtown Vancouver, and I just got a notification on my search for myself that said the price of one of the units that we had our eye on went from 1.15 million. They just dropped the price to 999. That's $150,000 price drop. So,
That's a
you
big
know,
drop.
yeah, we kind of looked at that one and said, well, our budget's a million. That's kind of, we set that in line. And so that is a real example of something that just happened in my personal search. But you're absolutely right when you say, just because there's good deals coming and maybe good deals that are already here, doesn't change the fact that smart investors are going to act on them quick. And you touched on talking to your mortgage broker, having your pre-position in place, knowing where your down payment's going to come from, analyzing your specific market to understand what a good deal looks like. Because just because you know that good deals are coming doesn't mean that if I showed you 5 properties in 5 neighborhoods, Like, okay, which one of these five is the best deal out of the five? There's still work you need to do to get ready. So that getting ready work is absolutely critical. You talked too about potentially collaborating and getting into joint ventures with people. So I think that's a terrific strategy. I've built a lot of my portfolio using a similar approach, so I can definitely relate. And what do you think if someone's thinking about doing a joint venture? Let's say that, for those of you guys that are watching, you think that maybe January, February, as an example, is going to be a great time to pick up a deal. Well, it's already mid-October, so that's 75 days away. You need to be ready to look at acquiring something with a partnership. So what do you think some of the things if for someone that's thinking about leading a joint venture, being that managing partner, working partner, whatever we call it, what are some of the things that need to happen now in order for them to do a successful deal come January and February?
Yeah, great question, James. And having been someone who's leading a few joint ventures, and one that I had no anticipation of being involved in, and it kind of fell on our lap. And now we've got this 8-unit apartment building right across from the beach in Victoria that we bought together, and it's kind of we call it our BFF mansion. Some of you who know me know that term. Get a bunch of friends together, buy your forever home that you can age in place, and set up your retirement community and your fun. And that's been a dream of mine for years. And I thought when we sort of actioned on that dream that it maybe wouldn't be in such an incredible location, but it is. And so with that, we kind of did things a little bit backwards to how I usually like to do them. The property landed in our lap, and then we were scrambling. We got it under contract, as you always need to do first. And then we were scrambling with our partnerships, and I knew who I wanted in the deal, but we kind of hadn't got that set up in advance. So sometimes it's the chicken before the egg, and sometimes it's the egg before the chicken, and sometimes they all happen at the same time.
Yeah.
But right now, as you mentioned, we have a really good opportunity to understand that the deals are coming, right? All of the indicators are showing us that there will be deals. And like you said, some of them are already starting. We're already starting to see opportunities where there's been price drops. And so when you are leading a joint venture team, when you want to be the working partner, the managing partner, part of that is making sure that you've kind of got your credibility package ready, right? Like who are you, right? If you want to put less money or no money into a deal, then what are you bringing to the table to convince the people that you're going to be cheerleading and be
Right.
the leader of this marching band on, that you're going to be the right person to lead this team? And who and what do you bring to the table? Do you have good lawyers? Do you have good brokers? Do you have people who understand what you're looking for and can help you verbalize and show that to the other people who are thinking of joining your team? So again, it's that taking the time to slow down, get ready, and as a joint venture partner, even more importantly, it's really a good time to clean up your bio, get your portfolio photos done. If you've done renos, get your before and after photos done. Maybe set up a website with 3 or 4 of your portfolios. Create a PDF document with who you are and what you bring to the table. Get some testimonials about some other partnerships that you've had, and just really set yourself out there as someone who people are going to want to be lining up to partner with, right? I mean, for me right now, the position that I'm in, we've been so busy this year. I haven't been able to do as many deals as I would like to because WREN is growing so fast and there's so many people who want to do deals together. So we kind of have to scale up in 2 different ways, in the property side and the network side, to be able to action all of the things that are coming our way. And so that's kind of what this next few months for me is about, right? I want to be joint venturing on something in Mexico and joint venturing on some mobile home parks. And we're looking at some really cool hotel conversions to convert some hotels into some seniors or some other BFF mansion kind of thing. So it's laying all of those foundations for why people are going to want to partner with you and what and who you bring to the table to make it worth investing in you, because they're investing in you and the property when you're the lead team member on the joint ventures.
I love it. That's a great advice because I think it's easy to forget that real estate is a lengthy time to get a transaction done. It's not like you're buying a stock where in your mind, you think, okay, today's the day the stock market has hit the bottom. I'm buying, and it's one click of a button on your dashboard. Like there's all this work that comes into being a joint venture leader and then creating a real estate transaction. So yeah, I mean, the time is now to get ready. The time is now to get ready, and that's a massive takeaway. So, Liza, I've got you tagged in this video. So for those of you ladies out there who like the idea of a lady-led, founded, and organized real estate network, WREN, I can say, as a fella, I give it a huge thumbs up. The females on our Mogul real estate team who've been there said it's just the best environment. So make sure you send Liza a DM and say, hey, I'd love to be a part of what you guys are doing. And if you want to chat with her more about any of the projects that she gets into, obviously send her a message and get the conversation going. So, Liza, thanks for joining me for a nice chat on a Monday about real estate market and what to do to get ready to be a savvy investor. And I look forward to chatting with you again next time.
Yep, absolutely, James. I'm sure we could probably talk for hours.
Oh, well, that's what happens when you put two people that love real estate together. So
Exactly.
we'll say farewell for now and then plan to have another chat again soon so that people can see what's on our minds.
Sounds great. See you soon.
Thanks.